As the evening light softens around you, let the gentle rhythm of the present fade into the distance, carried away by a quiet breeze. Imagine yourself stepping from the warmth of your surroundings into the sandy arenas and shadowed barracks of ancient Rome, where gladiators fought with quiet determination for survival, the air carrying the faint scent of sweat and sand. This journey will take you through why they battled to live, the rise of Spartacus, the mystery of gladiatorial schools, and the contrasting life of a Roman lanista, all woven into a soothing narrative to guide you toward rest. Settle into the stillness, and let the rhythm of their bravery begin to ease your mind as we embark on this peaceful voyage through history. Imagine yourself awakening in a dim barrack of a gladiatorial school known as a lulls. In first-century Rome, the air cool with the scent of straw and the faint tang of oil from lanterns. The ground beneath your mat is hard-packed earth, covered with a thin layer of hay that rustles softly as you stir, the texture scratchy against your skin. The sound of a distant rooster crowing blends with the murmur of other gladiators rising, a signal that the day's rhythm has begun. A constant struggle to prepare for the arena where survival is the prize. Picture the ludus, its walls of rough stone enclosing a training yard, the air growing warm with the sun's rise and the scent of dust kicked up by feet. Your clothing is a simple tunic of coarse wool, its hem frayed from daily wear, the fabric rough as you tie a belt around your waist. The constant struggle is to build strength, your hands steady as you grip a wooden rudisa practice, sword its handle worn smooth by countless grips. The air fills with the clatter of metal shields clashing in mock combat, the rhythm of thrusts and parries a steady pulse, the ground vibrating faintly under your feet as you lunge, the scent of sweat mingling with the earthy aroma of the yard. The morning brings a sparse meal in the communal hall. Imagine sitting on a wooden bench, the texture hard against your back, the air thick with the aroma of barley porridge, and the faint tang of preserved fish served in clay bowls that clink softly as they are passed. The constant struggle is to eat enough to sustain the day's training, the flavor bland but filling, the sound of spoons scraping a gentle cadence. The air carries the murmur of conversations among fellow gladiators' slaves from distant lands, their voices low as they share tales of home, the rhythm of their camaraderie, a quiet solace amid captivity. Midday demands rigorous practice. Picture stepping into the yard under the sun, the air heavy with the scent of oiled skin, and the faint aroma of leather straps, the sound of a trainer's whistle cutting through the stillness, a gentle call to action. The constant struggle is to master the net and trident or the sword and shield, your arms aching as you swing, the texture of the net rough in your hands. The air fills with the grunt of effort and the thud of feet on sand, the rhythm of drills, a meditative beat. The ground hot beneath your sandals as you pivot, the scent of dust rising with each step. The afternoon brings maintenance and reflection. Imagine sitting in the shade of a portico, the air cool with the scent of damp stone, and the faint tang of vinegar used to clean wounds, the sound of a whetstone sharpening blades, a steady hum. The constant struggle is to repair gear, your hands blistered as you mend a strap, the texture of the leather supple under your fingers. The air carries the distant roar of a lion from the beast pens, the rhythm of your thoughts turning to the arena's uncertainty, the ground firm as you stand to stretch, a moment of quiet defiance. This life carries the shadow of peril. The air grows heavy with the scent of blood from a training mishap. Lives sometimes tested by the blade, though we need not dwell on the details. The sound of a comrade's groan prompts a pause. The constant struggle to push forward. The air filled with the faint aroma of medicinal salves from a medicus's kit. The rhythm of their resilience persists. The texture of a scarred arm, a reminder. The ground cooling as evening approaches. As night falls, the ludus grows still. The air warm with the scent of embers from a brazier. The sound of snoring from nearby cells, a gentle lullaby. You rest on your mat, the texture of the straw rough against your weary body. The constant struggle to find rest overshadowed by the next day's fight. The air carries the soft hum of the wind, the city beyond settling into silence, broken only by the occasional clatter of a guard's spear. Imagine yourself there, the coolness of the stone easing your thoughts, the rhythm of this gladiatorial life slowing your mind, guiding you toward rest as we prepare to leave this arena world behind. As the echoes of the ludus fade into the distance, imagine yourself standing on the windswept hills of Thrace around 111 BC, the air cool with the scent of wild thyme and the faint tang of dew on grass. The rhythm of their lives now shifts to a single figure, a man whose name would resonate through histories. Let the gentle flow of his journey carry you forward, a constant struggle unfolding with each step, as we trace the path that led him from captivity to rebellion. Easing your mind toward rest, picture Spartacus as a young man, his feet pressing into the soft earth of his homeland, the texture of a shepherd's cloak rough against his shoulders. The air carries the sound of bleating goats and the distant murmur of a stream, the scent of damp wool from his flock blending with the earthy aroma of the hills. Born into a tribe of warriors, his days were filled with the rhythm of tending animals, the constant struggle to protect his people from rival clans, his hands steady as he gripped a wooden staff, the ground firm beneath him as he watched the horizon. The air grows heavier with change as Roman legions sweep through Thrace, the scent of trampled grass and the faint tang of metal armor filling the breeze. Imagine Spartacus captured, his wrists bound with coarse rope, the texture biting into his skin, the sound of marching boots, a steady beat as he is marched to Rome. The constant struggle shifts to survival, his body pressed into the hold of a ship, the air thick with the aroma of salt and unwashed bodies, the rhythm of waves against the hull, a lullaby of captivity as he crosses the sea to Italy. In Rome, Spartacus finds himself sold into the ludus of Lentulus Batiatus at Capua, the air warm with the scent of sand and the faint tench of oil from training weapons. Picture him standing in the yard, the texture of a wooden sword, familiar yet foreign in his hands, the sound of clashing shields, a gentle cadence as he learns the gladiator's craft. The constant struggle is to adapt, his muscles aching as he swings, the ground hot under his sandals, the air carrying the murmur of other slaves, Gauls, Germans, Thracians, Stratians, united by the rhythm of their shared fate. The turning point arrives in 73 BC. Imagine the air growing tense with the scent of rebellion, the faint aroma of bread from a stolen kitchen wafting through the ludus. Spartacus, with a small band of gladiators, seizes knives and a wagon of cleavers, the texture of the handles rough as they break free, the sound of their escape a soft rustle against the night's silence. The constant struggle becomes a fight for liberty, their feet pressing into the cool earth as they flee to Mount Vesuvius, the air filled with the distant rumble of pursuit. The rhythm of their march, a quiet defiance on Vesuvius. The air is crisp with the scent of pine and the faint tang of volcanic soil, the ground uneven beneath their sandals. Picture Spartacus leading, his voice low as he organizes the growing band, the texture of a makeshift shield smooth from carved wood, the sound of a fire crackling a gentle hum as they plan. The constant struggle is to survive Roman legions, their numbers swelling with escaped slaves, the air carrying the murmur of hope and fear, the rhythm of their training a steady pulse in the hills. The rebellion unfolds over 2 years, the air thick with the scent of campfires and the faint aroma of blood from skirmishes. Lives poured out onto the ground as battles are fought. Imagine the landscape of southern Italy, the ground rolling under their feet as they move, the sound of Roman horns, a distant echo, the constant struggle to evade, capture, a quiet endurance. Spartacus leads with cunning, ambushing legions, the texture of a captured sword heavy in his hand, the air filled with the scent of trampled grass, the rhythm of their retreat a measured pace. By 71 BC, the tide turns. Picture the air growing heavy with the scent of dust and the faint tank of exhaustion, the ground littered with the remnants of a final stand near the Appian Way. The constant struggle ends as Roman forces under Crassus encircle them, the sound of clashing steel a soft murmur, the texture of a fallen shield cold underfoot. Spartacus falls, his body lost to history, the air settling into silence, the rhythm of his rebellion fading into the earth, a testament to resilience that lingers in the mind. As the night deepens, imagine yourself resting on that hillside, the air cool with the scent of pine, the sound of a gentle wind, a lullaby. The constant struggle of Spartacus and his followers eases into memory, the texture of the ground soft against your thoughts, guiding you toward rest as we turn from his tale to the mysteries that lie beneath the sands. As the echoes of Spartacus's rebellion fade into the stillness of the hills, imagine yourself walking gently across the sun-warmed ruins of Eludus, the air carrying the scent of ancient stone and the faint temps of dry earth. The rhythm of their lives now invites us to uncover the mysteries hidden beneath the sands, where gladiatorial schools shaped warriors and whispered secrets of Roman culture. Let this exploration of archaeology and tradition ease your mind, a constant struggle to understand the past unfolding slowly as we drift deeper into rest. Picture yourself standing at the site of the Ludus in Pompeii, preserved under layers of volcanic ash since 79 AD. The air cool with the scent of unearthed soil and the faint aroma of moss clinging to broken walls. The ground beneath your feet is uneven, the texture of cracked mosaic tiles smooth under your sandals, the sound of a breeze rustling through the ruins, a gentle cadence. The constant struggle of archaeologists reveals a world of training grounds and cells, the air thick with the scent of history, the rhythm of their careful brushes, a quiet dance as they uncover the past. Imagine the layout of the Ludus emerging, its courtyard surrounded by high walls, the texture of weathered plaster rough to the touch, the air filled with the faint temps of lime from ancient repairs, the sound of a reconstructed wooden gate creaking softly guides your thoughts, the constant struggle to maintain discipline within these walls evident in the narrow corridors, the ground worn smooth by countless footsteps. The air carries the murmur of imagined voices, trainers barking orders, gladiators murmuring prayers, the rhythm of daily life etched into the stone. The mystery deepens with the discovery of training tools. Picture a wooden palace, a tall post for practice, its surface scarred and splintered. The texture rough as you trace its edges, the air warm with the scent of aged wood. The constant struggle to perfect combat skills is revealed in the grooves. The sound of a phantom sword striking a soft thud, the ground firm as you stand beside it. The air fills with the faint aroma of oil used to preserve gear, the rhythm of repetitive drills, a meditative pulse, hinting at the discipline that shaped these fighters. Archaeologists uncover living quarters, the air cool with the scent of damp earth and the faint thames of preserved straw. Imagine stepping into a cell, the texture of a stone bench cold against your hand, the sound of a distant trickle from a broken aqueduct, a soothing hum. The constant struggle for comfort is apparent in the sparse furnishings, the ground littered with fragments of pottery, the air carrying the faint aroma of long-faded meals. The rhythm of their solitude lingers, a quiet contrast to the arena's roar, guiding your thoughts toward rest. The culture of the Lulls reveals itself in inscriptions. Picture a wall etched with graffiti, the texture of carved letters smooth under your fingers, the air filled with the scent of dust and the faint tang of charcoal. The constant struggle to leave a mark is seen in names like Celidus, the heartthrob, the sound of imagined cheers, a gentle echo, the ground steady as you read. The air carries the rhythm of Roman pride, the graffiti a testament to fame earned through survival. The mystery of their identities, a soft enigma to ponder. Yet, the shadow of hardship touches this place. The air grows heavy with the scent of illness from cramped conditions, lives sometimes diminished by disease, though we need not linger on the details. Imagine the sound of a healer's footsteps, the constant struggle to tend wounds, a quiet presence, the texture of a cloth bandage, smooth in your mind. The air fills with the faint aroma of herbs, the rhythm of recovery, a gentle pulse, balancing the grim with the resilience of those who endured. As evening settles, imagine yourself resting among the ruins. The air cool with the scent of twilight and the faint tang of olive trees beyond, the sound of crickets, a lullaby. The constant struggle to uncover these mysteries eases into the background, the texture of the earth soft against your thoughts, the rhythm of the past guiding you toward sleep as we turn to the contrasting life of a lanista. As the mysteries of the Lulls fade into the quiet of the evening, imagine yourself stepping beyond the stone walls, the air now carrying the scent of blooming laurel and the faint temps of fine wine. The rhythm of their lives shifts to the contrasting world of a lanista, the gladiator, trainer, and manager, a figure of social standing whose days weave a different thread through Roman society. Let this gentle exploration of privilege and responsibility ease your mind, a constant struggle to balance power and care unfolding as we drift toward rest. Picture yourself in a villa near Capua, the air warm with the scent of polished marble and the faint aroma of olive oil from a midday meal. The ground beneath your feet is smooth, the texture of a mosaic floor cool as you walk, the sound of a fountain's trickle a soothing cadence in the courtyard. The constant struggle of a lanista begins with oversight, his home a blend of elegance and utility, the air filled with the murmur of servants preparing for guests, the rhythm of his authority a steady presence. Imagine the lanista at dawn, his hands adjusting a toga of fine wool, the texture soft against his skin, the air cool with the scent of lavender from his bath. The sound of a stylus scratching on wax tablets fills the room. The constant struggle to manage finances, buying slaves, training costs, an arena fees a quiet task. The ground firm as he paces. The air carries the faint tang of ink, the rhythm of his ledgers, a meditative pulse. His life a contrast to the gladiators' hardship, yet tied to their fate. Midday brings the training grounds. Picture him standing in the shade of a portico, the air heavy with the scent of sweat and the faint aroma of leather from gladiator gear. The sound of clashing swords, a distant hum. The constant struggle is to instruct, his voice low as he corrects a stance. The texture of a whip handle, smooth in his hand, used more for emphasis than punishment. The air fills with the rhythm of drills, the ground warm under his sandals. His role a bridge between the elite and the enslaved. The scent of dust rising with each command, the afternoon shifts to social duties. Imagine sitting in a triclinium, the texture of a cushioned couch soft beneath you, the air rich with the scent of roasted pheasant and the faint tanks of spiced wine. The constant struggle is to entertain patrons, his voice steady as he discusses upcoming games. The sound of laughter, a gentle echo, the ground steady as servants glide by. The air carries the rhythm of negotiation, securing bets and alliances. His life elevated yet shadowed by the arena's demands. The aroma of incense, a subtle comfort. The lanista's wealth reflects his status. Picture a study lined with scrolls, the texture of parchment smooth under his fingers. The air cool with the scent of cedar and the faint tang of wax seals. The constant struggle is to maintain influence, his hands tracing maps of Italy. The sound of a distant crowd, a soft reminder of his gladiators' fights. The ground firm as he plans. The air fills with the rhythm of ambition, the scent of myrrh from a nearby lamp. His life a contrast to the barracks' austerity, yet bound by the same Roman pulse. The shadow of loss touches his world. The air grows heavy with the scent of a funeral pyre. Lives sometimes ended in the arena, though we need not dwell on the specifics. Imagine the sound of a quiet lament, the constant struggle to replace fallen fighters, a somber task. The texture of a memorial tablet cool in his hand. The air carries the faint aroma of ash, the rhythm of mourning a gentle pause, balanced by the promise of new recruits, the ground softening as evening falls, as night settles. Imagine yourself resting in the villa's garden, the air cool with the scent of jasmine and the faint temps of night-blooming flowers, the sound of a gentle stream, a lullaby. The constant struggle of the lanista eases into the stillness, the texture of the grass soft against your thoughts, the rhythm of his dual life guiding you toward sleep as we prepare to leave this Roman world behind. As the gentle night deepens around you, imagine the air growing soft with the scent of a cool breeze and the faint tank of earth. The rhythm of ancient Rome fading into the stillness, the struggles of gladiators, the rise of Spartacus, the mysteries of the ludus, and the life of a lanista have woven a quiet tapestry, their stories lingering like a distant echo against the quiet of your room. The air carries the sound of your own steady breath, the texture of your surroundings, a comforting contrast to the hard sands and stone of the past. The ground beneath you, a place of peace. Picture the Roman world settling into silence, the air filled with the scent of twilight and the faint aroma of extinguished lamps. The constant struggle of their lives, now a memory to hold softly in your mind. the rhythm of their resilience, their daily toil, and their quiet defiance eases into the present, where the warmth of your blanket and the stillness of the night offer a gentle refuge. Let these tales drift away, their details blending into the calm, the texture of your thoughts softening as sleep draws near. As the clock nears 8:22 p.m. CET on this Tuesday, August 19th, 2025, imagine yourself resting fully, the air cool and serene, the sound of the world outside a distant lullaby. The rhythm of history has guided you here, a constant companion through the ages, now yielding to the comfort of the present. Close your eyes, let the past fade into dreams, and drift into a peaceful rest, knowing we'll journey through time again when you awaken.